Thank you for hopping on tonight. We have a literal powerhouse lineup for you guys tonight, and I cannot wait for you to hear from the incredible people that we have on our lineup. But we are going to jump right in so we can be respectful of everybody's time because it is a busy time of month for everybody, I think. And we got a lot going on. And so we're going to jump right into this. But first, hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Hollingsworth. I'm one of the diamond leaders here at Trinot. I have been here for 2.5 years, but I've been in the industry for over 6. I was a paramedic for 17 years and in emergency medicine for 25 before I kind of fell into this industry. I had 400 Facebook friends and nobody cared what I had to say about anything, but I had a product experience. And that's what I like to share because that's what I think is relatable. We are all having product experiences every single day with things, whether good or bad. A movie you love, you're going to talk about it. A restaurant you hate, you're going to talk about it. And that's all I did. But my whole life changed. And I now am at home full time with my boys after working 12 to 14-hour shifts, my husband working 24-hour shifts, and we didn't do daycare. This has changed our lives in a way that I never anticipated. And so I'm excited for you to hear from some of these stories tonight of just incredible people that are having incredible experiences with these products, with this business, because they took a chance and it's changed everything. So we have, like I said, a powerhouse lineup tonight. But first, we're going to start off with my friend Lori Sanford. She is absolutely incredible. We have only actually been friends, I feel like, for years, honestly. I feel like I've known her for so long, and yet we really only been friends for like 6-8 weeks. That sounds so weird to say. But she has come into this business. She's an incredible business owner already, but they were in a position where they knew they needed something else. And she is just incredible with how she reaches people. She's authentic. She's super funny. And I love watching her work this business and help others. But I can't wait for you to hear her story. So, Lori, do you just want to share kind of how you got here and what's going on?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh, you're going to make me cry. That's amazing. So I'm Lori, Lori Sanford. I'm from Saugatuck, Michigan. And I, along with my husband, own an online boutique. We are live sellers. I am formerly a hairstylist for 35 years. We've just had a really rough year with the boutique this year. We've been down up to 70%. The economy's bad. I'm sure you're all feeling it. It's just crazy out there right now. We have pivoted so many times, we have made a square. So we, we're done pivoting. So we were hurting. We were cutting costs where we could. We downsized. We went down to one car. We moved our business into a home. I mean, it's just sounds like they moved it into old people's home, but we did. We moved it into our home. Then one day I happened to see a Linda, who is also a fellow boutique owner who I met a few years ago. Mentioned something about something she was doing, and I'm like, she's gonna have a live on it then. I'm like, oh, I wonder what Linda's up to. So I didn't get a chance to watch it that night, but I snuck in and peeked in the next day because I know that's what, a lot of y'all do, right? You sneak in because you don't want them to know that you're looking. So she spiked my curiosity. Watching the replay, she's just amazing anyway. And so I messaged her right after I watched the Trinot live with Sarah, with you, and with Alinda. And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. Like, I want in on it. Why would I not want in on it? So I launched on September 11th. That's when we did our live. I started with the daily health system and the enrich that day. So I took everyone on the journey with me. My husband lost 15 pounds in the first 2.5 weeks. I did not. I think my hormones are all getting balanced, so I can feel it. So it's been absolutely amazing. I feel like the products are the least part of this. I feel like the company is just, Sarah's taken me under her wing, and there is a team here that you can't even believe. So now I have a team of 13 associates under me and their teams. And Bob and I are so blessed. We went from broke to making over 14. Sorry, $14,000 in the last 6 weeks. And we won a trip to Cancun. We could not have done this without Sarah and this community. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. My husband always tells that I tell everybody too much. But you know what? That's why we are who we are and how we get to where we are. And girls and guys, this community is just amazing. I didn't do this by myself. You also can go from surviving to thriving. You can be able to afford groceries, whatever, your doctor bill, whatever, or go on a vacation, whatever it is that you need. So I say that you deserve abundance. You truly do. There's so many people waiting to hear about this product. So all I can say is love yourself enough to give this a try. You won't be disappointed, I promise.
Lori, that was amazing. Don't make me cry because we're just starting. I already am sweating. I can't start crying now. Oh, I love that though, because that is really what this is about. Lori just jumped in and said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And she threw herself into this and her whole life is changing. And it's been a month and a half. And I love that she shared that because it's really available for everybody. And that's what's the important part. So thank you, Lori, for sharing that. I love you so much, friend. I appreciate it. And she is just one of our stories. She was just talking about Alinda. I love Alinda. She is like my running partner with this. I love working with her. She's another one. You guys, well, no, that's not true. We kind of met a couple months ago. This girl is a skeptic like me. She's hardcore skeptic. And I loved it because she took her time determining if this was going to work for her. And then when she decided, nope, this stuff's amazing and I need to talk about it, she's absolutely blown it out of the park. But her story is incredible. So, all right, girl, are you unmuted? You want to share?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I did it. So, oh gosh, that was quite the one to follow. I love you, Lori. It's absolutely amazing to hear that story. And I'm so glad you said yes. And I'm so glad you peeked into what we were doing. So as Sarah said, my name's Alinda and I am from Illinois. And I was a boutique owner. I actually closed my boutique and merged with another boutique in March. And things just didn't go the way that I thought they would go. And I was in a really rough place and really was not looking for anything, to be completely honest with you guys. And I kind of came across Sarah on TikTok and I kind of stalked her a little bit. And it's kind of funny because I don't think she really thinks she does a lot on TikTok. I think what I saw was probably something from a while ago, to be honest. And so I stalked her for a little bit and then finally had the courage one day to send her a message. And I told her, I said, I want to try the product. And honestly, it was because I did not want to take the shot like everybody was doing, but I heard that Activate could do something to help me lose the 15 pounds that I had gained during this stressful time. So I told her I'd buy the product, but at the time it was free $99 to sign up. So I said, sign me up, but I don't want to do anything yet. Let me see if the product works. So for me, the product I felt great on the product for about 4 weeks. I didn't lose any weight, but I went and had what was called an InBody. If anybody knows what that is, it's a machine you get on. It actually measures everything in your body from visceral fat to body index, everything. It measures everything. But when I got off that first body thing I did, I was like so mad I hadn't lost any weight. But the doctor said to me, you have lost 3 pounds of visceral fat and having heart issues. He was like, that's even more important than weight. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep on going. Like Sarah said, give it 30 days. And so I was going to give it 30 days. And then I went off of it for a week, I think, afterwards, after that 4-week period. And I felt horrible. So I was like, I'm going back on it. I called her. I said, what do I have to do? Let's get running. I want to share this stuff with people. It's just not in my head. This product's working for me. And we just took off with it. So same for us. Like I was not really looking for anything that I thought, but I really think God had bigger plans because he just kept putting it in front of me and putting it in front of me and people just kept saying yes. So that's where we're at right now. As far as the money goes, we're right up there with Lori. How much money we've made in the last 6 to 8 weeks is absolutely insane. I've never seen a company have a comp plan like this that is so fair that everybody coming in can win, not just at the top. And I think that's so, so important. So if you guys have even a little bit of an idea that you want to do this, this is the time, you guys, because this girl right here, Sarah, has been absolutely amazing. You heard Lori say, if it wasn't for Sarah, she would not be where she is. And if it was not for Sarah, I would not be where I am, because literally she's come in and just taken everybody under her wing. And I couldn't ask for a better leader when it comes to that. So thanks for having me on.
Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing. Because I love that too. Here's the thing, like I'm a skeptic, guys, and I am one of those people that assume that if something's a lie until it's proven otherwise. It's not my best quality. But I came into this business just not sure. And I love people that are also like, I gotta prove that this is gonna work for me. And then when they come in, they blow it up. Because here's the thing, like she was saying, it feels almost like people are coming out of the woodwork saying, what do you have going on? What is going on with you? What are you doing? Because people are so desperate for something like this. They are desperate for not only the financial aspect, but the physical aspect. You think about even like the visceral fat that she lost, guys, that puts years on your life. And that is massive. I say that all the time. I would literally take this stuff till I died if I never lost another pound, because it's extending my lifespan. I cannot put a time frame on that. I couldn't put a dollar sign on that. That's huge. So I love that. Thank you, girl. I love working with you guys. And this has been just a blast to see your businesses blow up. So next I'm going to bring up my friend, Jessica Lucas. She is just a dream, guys. She's also newer to the team. She is a mom. She's a wife. She really jumped out of her comfort zone and had a brick and mortar business for a few years before that had to close. And she ended up in a very desperate situation as well. Her husband's working like 70 hours a week. She told me, I was like, oh my word, 70 hours a week. She's having to run all the things. But she's jumped in here, and I know she sent me a message because she sent me a before and after, and I was like, oh my word, how much weight did you lose? And she told me, and I didn't open that message before we hopped on here, so I'm going to let her tell you guys her story about being a mom and a business owner and just how she's been able to do this, what's happened to her physically and financially since coming here.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. So I'm Jessica. I'm from Michigan, from Livonia. I am a corporate America dropout, you guys. I was a David's Bridal store manager. I have always been in sales. I was the youngest store manager in the whole entire company. And I loved my job, but I had 2 small kids and my husband traveled, and I was going to work when my kids were asleep and I was coming home when they were asleep. And I was like, this is never going to work. So in 2016, I left that life. I actually started network marketing back then. I had a business that did very well. And I decided that I was going to branch off on my own and I was going to open a gift shop. We were in business 3.5 years in our location. I won best gift shop in Metro Detroit. We were on the news. Like everything went very well for a very long time until it didn't go very well. And about a year ago, we were spending more than we were bringing in. I was using savings to pay payroll and keep the lights on. I was working 70 hours a week and cutting my employees because my payroll was free. My kids were there and like living their life there. And I was like, okay, so we closed in January, and Katie Draper is actually a friend of mine, like a personal friend. And for a long time I was lost, you guys. Like I was like, what am I going to do now? I thought I was gonna have to go back to work, and my kids have never not had me here in the morning. Like that thought, I was like, I will do whatever it takes to not go back to work. So I was selling on TikTok. I was doing, different UGC collabs, all sorts of things, anything I could do to make a little bit of money. I had gained a lot of weight, and I had already lost 66 pounds on my own. So I knew how to do it, you guys. And then I gained weight back, and it was like, no matter what I did, my body was like, no, we're not doing this. So Katie joined, and she told me from day one, I was a skeptic. Day one, she's like, come do this with me. Let's do it. I'm like, no, I'm going to see what happens for you. And so I kept watching her, and I kept watching her, and I kept watching her. It took me 10 weeks, you guys, 10 weeks. It physically took my husband saying to me, you wake up every day feeling like crap, telling me your clothes don't fit, and you are watching someone you know in real life make money and feel good, and you're saying no. He's like, order the products and start right now. You're not going to say no anymore. So I did. It's been 3 months. I've lost 17.8 pounds. I posted a before and after, not even so much the weight. I didn't realize how puffy my face was, how swollen I was. My clothes didn't fit. I was miserable. And I just all around feel so much better. Like my mood is better. Same thing. If I never lost another pound, I didn't ever care about the weight. I have 2 boys. They are almost 9 and 10 years old. I went through fertility treatments to have them. And my biggest thing is I want to be able to keep up with them. Like, they play travel sports. I don't want my husband to have to work. He worked 7 days last week, you guys. Matt, how many hours did you work last week?
79 hours.
79 hours last week. He worked on Sunday. He didn't get to come carve pumpkins with us. I don't want him to work that many hours. And in 3 months' time, I have made enough to pay my mortgage payment 5.5 times. And I feel so much better. So I'm very thankful. You guys, if you're thinking about it, don't be like me. Don't wait 10 weeks. The biggest regret I have, I will tell you, I wish I said yes the first day that Heidi asked me. I don't know why I was saying no. I was afraid I was going to fail, you guys. Honestly, I had closed my store and I was like, I didn't want to have that failure again. And I was afraid. Don't be afraid. Jump in. We have the tools. We have the resources. We have the team to help you. You can do anything you want to do. You're the one standing in your own way. Get out of your way and just go do it.
I love that. Absolutely. Get out of your own way. That is the case. I feel like with so many people, because they've either been burned by the industry or they're like, I've never sold anything in my life. I'm not a salesperson. I hear that all the time. I'm not either. I'm a paramedic. And yet here I am because I decided to try something different. And a lot of where people are at is not sustainable. I mean, I love your story, Jessica, because your husband is burning the candle at both ends. You were already in a desperate situation, and not everybody who comes here is in a desperate situation, but a lot are, you guys. And I hear this a lot, like, this was the saving grace. This was the thing that turned it around for my family, for my health. And that is the biggest reason why we're still here sharing this stuff with people, is because there's so many that don't know that yet. There is freedom on the other side of that level of skepticism, that level of, I don't think I can do this. Like Jessica said, get out of your own way and love yourself enough to try this out, because that's what I did too. That's what we're all doing and sharing what happened when we were like, okay, I'm going to try this. It's life-changing. I mean, you're already hearing that. So, okay, next I'm going to bring up my beautiful friend, also Jessica Sugg. She is just the sweetest. She's newer to the team too, having really incredible results. Her weight loss has been incredible. Let me see. I wrote this down. First of all, she's a mama to one. And I've been trying to take good notes to share with you guys about this. I already messed up a couple, but she's got one little boy, guys. She lost 55 pounds. That's in 12 weeks. 55 pounds. So, Jess, where are you at? I want to hear your story.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
There you are. Hi. Yes.
Hello. Well, yes. Thank you for having me. My name is Jessica. I'm 27 and I live in Amarillo, Texas. So like she said, I am a mom to one. I actually had my first baby last September, so I'm right at a year. And I was really lucky. I didn't gain a lot of weight when I was pregnant. I kind of just was thinking I was going to skate on by. But I was not prepared for how much weight I was going to gain post-pregnancy. And I don't think anybody really taught me that, or that was going to happen. And so after I had my son, I gained weight very rapidly, probably faster than I've ever gained weight ever. A month after having him, I ended up having my gallbladder out, which turned into a whole different digestion issues. And this May, I guess, I had finally decided, I was like, I want to just make a change. I'm going to try to do this on my own. I'm going to try to lose some weight. And I ended up losing about 10 to 12 pounds naturally, just by trying to go into a calorie deficit. And I finally told myself it wasn't sustainable. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to eat salads and never enjoy food again. And I do work in the boutique setting. I actually run sales at a clothing boutique. I actually work for Shelby Tavern. She's my best friend, and she was selling this. And so I've done sales for the last 7 years of my life. It's kind of all I've ever known as a job. And she came to me and she was like, I don't want to see you struggle to do this. I think you do great on these products. And I was really skeptical. I was like, let me just try some stuff. And so I actually took Enrich. It was the first product that I had ever tried. She was like, I think it would help tremendously after having my gallbladder out. And in 4 days, I was like, okay, sign me up. I'm ready to go. I signed up at the end of the month. I had 3 days to try to rank, and me and my husband's account both had ranked within those 3 days. And I don't think that I was prepared for the weight loss side of things, or honestly the financial side of things. Like Sarah said, I have lost 55 pounds since I started. I was inching very closely towards a 14W Judy Blue jean, and I'm almost back into my size 7s since starting this product. And truly, 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 when I tell you, not even just weight loss side, but how much better I feel. And I've got a 1-year-old that's running around like crazy. And like Jessica Lucas said, like, I want to be able to keep up with him. I want to be able to go and do the things that he's going to want to do as he grows up. And losing the weight has been incredible. My mom's also been on it and is in the greatest health that she's ever been. And has lost over 40 pounds after doing every weight loss injection there was and not losing a single pound. I've seriously, like, her success, I don't even want to talk about her success because I will cry, because she is in the greatest health that she has ever been in. But to be honest with you, I knew that there was some money to be made, and I told myself if I could make an extra $500, that would be enough for me. We kind of got ourselves in a really bad situation when I was pregnant. I wasn't smart enough to prepare ahead of time, and I didn't put a lot of money back. And you know, after having a baby, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have kids, that once you have a baby, I don't think you realize how much time you really want to stay at home. And I was like, oh, I'm going to stay at home for like 3 weeks. And then I was like, no, I want to stay home for 6 weeks. And then it was 12 weeks. And I didn't want to go back to work. And then when I did go back to work, I didn't want to go back to work full time. And so we were on pretty much every repayment plan that you could imagine. I had a repayment plan for my mortgage. I had a repayment plan for our electricity bill. Actually, 2 months after having my son, our electricity got turned off because I didn't set up a repayment plan. We were on repayment plans for our cars. And I wasn't embarrassed that we were behind on payments. I didn't know how we were going to get ourselves out. And you know, I drove in. If you know me personally, I'm someone who dives in feet first, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to give everything I have, because I'm a true believer that you're going to get out of something what you put into it. And I told myself that I was going to be consistent and post something every single day. And every single day since the day that I've started this business, I've made a post on Facebook. It's not always the same, and it focuses towards other things every single day, but I've made it a point to be consistent. And I'm 3 months in and have made $17,000, and I've paid off every repayment plan that we have. Our mortgage is paid, our cars are paid, and we just put a $10,000 savings deposit into our savings account. And that's a lot of money. It is. And it's a lot of money at 27 years old. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, I think the most amount I've ever had in my savings account is $2,300. And it took a lot of time. So it's amazing, and everybody should jump on it if they can, because you can start from zero, but what you put into it is going to change your life forever. So I don't even know what the next couple of months are going to hold, but I can only imagine it's going to be even better. And looking at a savings account that has almost $13,000 in it, that's enough stability for me. And so I'm just so appreciative, and all of our leaders are awesome, and we couldn't do it without them. So thank you for having me. I very much appreciate it.
Oh my word. Gosh, guys. That's so incredible. Oh my word. Thank you for sharing that, because again, it's how many, I just was thinking of where I saw somebody put in the comments when I was 27, good Lord. I mean, I definitely did not have 10 grand in savings. And so I love this, like she said, the stability that is an option here for people who maybe didn't have, you know, for instance, myself, like I didn't have a lot of other skills, but when you plug into the right place with the right products, with the right team, with the right people, you literally can change your entire life. You don't have to be somebody incredibly amazing with a huge following. And I just love so much that she trusted her friend to jump in and try the products and have this experience financially and physically that's now going to literally change her life forever. Her son is going to have a different experience growing up now than he would have possibly without this place. And that is huge, I think, when we're thinking about long-term effects of what a business like this can do for the average person. So thank you, Jessica, for sharing that so much. I just loved it. Okay, now we're going to bring up this beautiful lady, Nicole, who has come into this business and absolutely exploded. I love her. I love watching her run. I'm in some chats with her and I'm like a fly on the wall. I'm just watching this girl go like crazy. She is a mom of four. She's a serial entrepreneur, but she wasn't quite sure what the next step was. And she was in a place where it was like, what's happening next? Where do I go? What am I supposed to do? Her story is insanely powerful. So Nicole, would you please hop on and just share with us what your story is?
Hey there, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you to all the ladies who've gone before me. I definitely appreciate being able to come behind such powerful stories. Good evening to everyone. As it was stated, my name is Nicole DeShera. I have been blessed and fortunate to be a part of this company for a little over a month. It's been a really short window for me. I've been using the products now for about 8 weeks, actually 8 weeks today. Today's Wednesday, 8 weeks today. And we're going to start with the numbers because I'm a numbers girl and that's what I like. So we're going to start with that, okay? First of all, in 8 weeks, pay attention, 21 pounds, you guys, 21 pounds in 8 weeks. I need to do my measurements so I can tell you the inches, but it literally I have a closet full of clothes I can't wear. That's my biggest problem is I don't have clothes that fit. I have on a sweater right now that belongs to my 14-year-old. I stole it from her for some pictures and I said, I'm gonna take that back. So I need it for this Zoom. Let me hold it. So that's my biggest problem right now. But more than that, the greatest flex, as the kids like to say, is I am a diabetic. I was diagnosed with diabetes last year at 40. I was pre-diabetic for years and years before that, never took it seriously. And there's other people in this room that can admit you have had that type of thing where there was something looming and you heard it and you knew it was a thing, but you were like, I'll get to it, right? I did that with prediabetes for years. My dad is a diabetic. I watched him lose weight, change his diet, my dad's 70 and he's healthier than everybody in this room, I promise, okay? And it just is a gym rat, like he's an amazing inspiration. So I knew it could be done, but I wasn't in the headspace to do it. And here's what I know. If you are not there yet, you're not there yet. Plain and simple. If you're not there yet, you're not there yet. Even if other people around you are there, even if you know it's important, even if you know what happens if you don't, even if you know there's a way out. My dad showed me a way out in real time years ago, and I wasn't there yet, right? So I didn't take it seriously. And then COVID hit, the world shut down. We were at home eating, period. We were at home eating. Okay, we were cooking stuff we didn't normally cook. We were just eating. All of our feelings, all of our fears, we were eating. Flash forward the tape, 50 pounds later, I was a full-blown diabetic. And now it's no longer a theory. Now it's no longer what could potentially happen. Now this is happening, right? So amidst that, I, as it was stated, am a serial entrepreneur. I had tons of success in the network marketing space. I was able to get to just about the top of the comp plan in the last company I was a part of. I had a huge team of over 3,000 people. I was blessed and fortunate to make a lot of money. And in that window of time, I also went through a lot of personal challenges. I was building that business on the backs of a divorce, young kids. I got married again, and right after COVID, got divorced again. So now here I am with a business. I decided this is the end of the line for me. There were some changes there. I knew I needed to do something different. And I said, I believe online retail is the thing. Let's do it. Like, I can do this. Here's the thing about me. I'm always going to bet on myself. Now, some of y'all in the room can relate, some of y'all not so much. But for all of those of you who are like me, nobody's ever told me I couldn't do anything without at the same time telling me to to go and do it. Like, okay, I can't, I don't know that skill. I've never done that before. Okay, well, listen, in about 6 minutes, I'm going to be on top of this. I'm exaggerating, but you get my point, right? So I've always been that person. So I wasn't afraid to pivot. I love what the first person said that spoke tonight. She said, I pivoted so many times, I lost count, right? We tried a lot of different things in the boutique space, and I had an amazing customer base of people that supported me. At the same time, it didn't work. And there's somebody listening to this tonight that needs to hear, it's okay if it doesn't work. It's okay if you get all of it, if you did everything you could, if you checked all the boxes, if you came with all the belief, if you came with all the affirmations, if you listened to all the podcasts and the ebooks and you did all the right things and it did not work. Because here's the reality, life works like that sometimes. It's not specific to you or to me. It's not gender specific. It's not race specific. It's not demographic specific. Life happens to us all. Right. And so it's okay that things don't always work out the way we want them to. But the important thing is not just knowing when to pivot, it's knowing when to walk away. It's knowing when to fold up your things and say, it's time for me to go home. I've done everything I could do here, and it's time for me to move on from here. But a lot of you are asking, where? That was me. I knew it was time for me to move somewhere, but where? Right? So I ended up going back to corporate America. And for all the entrepreneurs in the room, that's a knife in the chest, right? It's like, that's how I felt, like every day going to work. But I have children. I'm a single parent again. So now I got to figure this out, right? I fast forward the tape. I saw Grace Gagner. I'm not sure if she's in here, but Grace did not know me. I did not know her. She mentored me from afar in the boutique space. I had never, ever had a conversation with this woman, but I have followed her for years and learned a lot about the boutique world from watching her. I reached out to her and I said, hey, I see what you're doing and I just need to know what's up. You don't know me, I don't know you, but can we talk about it? And so we talked about it and I got some products. And then I called her and I was like, I absolutely need in on this because what? Like, what is this that's happening here? Like, I know what you said, but it's happening for me. All the skeptics in the room, like Sarah said, where it's like, I hear what you're saying. And I got in the Ripple Effect group. If you're not in there, jump in. And I scrolled and I read the comments under the posts. And I was in there. And I was still like, I'm willing to try, but I don't know, because health and wellness is not clothing. It's not jewelry. It's not makeup. It's not hair. It's specific to what's happening inside your body. And none of us know until we know, right? So I took the chance. I bet on me once again. And my only regret is that I did not do it sooner. My only regret is that I didn't jump in her DMs the first time I saw her post about it. I remember saying like, weight loss shot in a cup. What does that even mean? Okay, I'm going to keep scrolling. And I regret that. If I could go back to that scroll and unscroll, I would, because that was the moment right there. But like I said in the beginning, I'm going to say again at the end, you're not there until you're there. So if you're watching this and you're on the fence, somebody invited you here because they think a lot of you. Somebody invited you here because they know you need this. Somebody invited you here because you're saying you're okay, but they know you're not. And they don't have to know the details. People didn't know what I was going through behind the scenes. They didn't know that I was rebuilding my life, because we don't show that. We show the highlights, right? We don't show the struggle. We don't show the hardship. But as a single parent with an extremely public rise, my private fall was daunting. And I knew I needed to do something. I just didn't know what. So I am super grateful for Trinot, because more than any amount of money I've made, and I'm grateful for that, and we haven't even scratched the surface, more than the people that have joined my team, and again, lots of those people, and we haven't scratched the surface, I was able to go to the doctor for the first time in years and look forward to having my labs drawn, look forward to what they were going to say when they came back. And I was happy to get the call. I got a call, not even a message in the little MyChart app. I got a call from my doctor about my A1C. That was more than any amount of money, any amount of recognition, because that means I get to be here for my children. That means that I get to be present for them, and not just here, but here and healthy, here and focused, here and able and capable. And for many of you, that's what you need. Everybody doesn't need money. Some people need time.
Get these water
Some people
bottles
need the
up.
ability to be present for the people that love them. So wherever you find yourself in my story, my hope is that you'll get back with the person that invited you, get that link and take action. Because the best time to do this was last week, last month, last year. Somebody was in my DMs about Trinot in 2022. And my only regret is that I didn't say yes back then. The second best time to do it is today. Thank you. Sarah, back to you.
Oh my word. Well, we can just wrap up shop right now and hop right off this Zoom, because that was incredible. I'm just going to turn this whole thing over to you, girl. That was unbelievable. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that is so relatable too. You know, like we don't know what's going on in people's lives. We have no idea. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know one person that doesn't need something that we have here, whether it's a product, whether it's the community, whether it's the comp plan, the money, whatever it is, we have something here for everybody. There is a solution. This is a lifeline. It literally is. So I really appreciate you being so transparent and sharing your story, because I know that that's not always the easiest thing to do. You know, and I know I was a single parent to one. I cannot imagine 4. Like, that is a lot. That's a lot. Like, I was barely making it out of 1. So I just thank you for sharing that. But I hope that you guys are getting to get the feeling from these incredible stories, from Nicole just taking us all to church with her, how absolutely life changing this can happen, that this can be for you and the people that you know and love. You know, one of the things that she said that I liked so much was that she wished she would have started sooner. The first time she saw Grace, I feel the same way. There are people out there who don't even know this exists yet, and they desperately need this. But in order for them to know, you have to show up first. And that's what I think about every single day. Who's waiting for me to show up? Who's still waiting for Sarah to show up out there? Even if you're not even in this business yet, there are still people in your life that are waiting for you. And I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe it's coincidental that you're on this Zoom, that somebody invited you, or you're watching this later. I don't believe in that. I believe there's a reason. So think on that for a minute. Think on what she just shared. That was so incredible. But now I'm going to bring up my powerhouse team. Guys, Chris and Heidi Draper are making waves in this company that I have not hardly ever seen. They are absolutely incredible. They're really some of my favorite people. I'm so honored to work alongside them every single day. Our chats are my favorite. And they are running for a massive goal. You guys, keep your eyes on them because they're about to pop Black Diamond. They're getting there. They're running their faces off. And I'm just going to put that out there. This is already happening, 100%. But they work so hard, you guys, and their story is incredible. Not only what happened to them physically, but financially in the very short amount of time that they have been here. I absolutely love it when they share their story. So, Chris and Heidi, will you come on and just share with everybody your story?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. We are blessed to be here. Like, that is an understatement, but little about us. We live in Texas. We have 3 boys, 9, 11, and 13. They keep us jumping, that's for sure.
I just got back from football practice.
Yep. Chris wasn't here at the beginning because he was at football. But you know, a little about us, like back in May, we came from owning different businesses. When we met, I owned a cupcake bakery. We had that for about 10 years, and then got into kind of the boutique world as well. And you know, that it was kind of like this pattern of failure after failure. And I know a lot of people can resonate that with, like, especially if you've ever had a business or anything really, like sometimes things just don't work as planned, and you just end up in this cycle of failure, you know. And you know, we experienced that with the boutique. We experienced that with, you know, after that we opened a cookie business, and we had that for a few years, and
it started off really, really great, and so great that we decided to expand it, and then it died on us, and we were stuck with all the bills and the leases and the overhead and the this and the that. And it was just like, what are we going to do with each other? Like, what are we going to do with this? And go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. And so, you know, over the last, I know a lot of people have said this, over the last couple years, especially, like, life has been hard for a lot of people, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a small business owner, whether you work a 9-to-5 job. Like, life has been hard. It's been hard to make ends meet. It's been hard to bring in enough money with the rising costs of everything. And, you know, we were in that same boat. Our business was going downhill. About a year ago, we were behind on house payments. Like, we couldn't keep up with our mortgage, let alone everything else. We started, you know, selling off furniture. We tried odd jobs. Chris would go out and DoorDash, and it just kept getting worse. We ended up closing.
We were basically doing whatever we could, to survive and make sure that we put food on the table for our kids, which really became like macaroni and cheese and ramen and the things that we could afford. And like, we were not just, I mean, overall, we were just not in a good place.
No,
honestly.
But we were very similar to Nicole. And I think most people, where you mask it, right? You don't let people know, even people in our community, people, you know, it was the hardest thing when we had to have one of our
realtor.
Yeah, our realtor, and he's gonna get me, but our realtor come over that was a good friend of ours, and you know, even in the community, you just put on this mask because you don't want people to know what you're going through. And so it's really hard
to bring her in.
But we had to bring her in, and so we had to share how bad everything was, and that was one of the hardest moments of my life. We tried to mask our boys from it. We tried to mask everybody from it. But, you know, come the beginning of this year, we had to sell our house. Luckily, we sold our house before it got foreclosed on. We didn't even know how we were going to afford our new house. We moved in April. And we did not know what we were going to do at that point. You know, Abby that's on here, and same as Nicole, like,
Wish I would have listened to her.
yeah, like she had been reaching out about Turnaught for probably 8 months. We shut her down every time because, you know, I feel like everybody's had, you know, bad experiences other places or whatever, where it tainted you for, oh, I don't, you could have worked in McDonald's and you're like, I never want to work in a McDonald's or a fast food place again, right? Like you just get these things. And so we were just like, no, not for us, not for us, not for us. And meanwhile, in the back end, we're struggling, can't pay our bills, can't barely put food on the table, and we're saying no.
We're saying we're good,
we're good,
but
we're
not good.
And so, you know, long story short, Abby finally reached out one last time when I had kind of gotten to the highest weight I'd ever been. And a little about me, I've struggled with my weight my whole life since I was probably 8. And so I've been up and down in, you know, stressful situations. I am was really an emotional eater, and that's every emotion. Some people don't eat when they get sad and depressed. I did. I ate when I was happy. I ate when I was sad. I ate when I was upset, always. And so, you know, the weight just compiled, and that just makes everything else worse. So not only were we in this awful financial situation that we didn't know how we were going to get out of, like there was one point when we talked about, you know, Chris was going to try to go stay with someone. He was going to send me and the boys back to live with our parents in California. And, you know, it was a very desperate time. And in May, when I had reached my highest weight, I knew I needed to do something. And it was at that point, our lowest point, my breaking point, when finally Chris had told Abby, because that's she'd been messaging Chris most of the time. And he's like, well, maybe reach out to Katie. Maybe she's interested. And it took me getting to that point where I'm like, she started telling me about these products that had just come out. And, you know, she's like, you know, she actually sent me some, and she's like, look, this is going to help you. And so I, you know, very skeptically tried it. And that was May 20th. And from that point on, I think it took me
5 days.
3 or 4 or 5 days at most of using 2 products, you know, Daily Health System. And I was like, this is going to change my life. Like, and at that point, I was just thinking physically, right? Because I was feeling a lot better. I dropped 7 pounds in the first 5 days. And now I'm down 68 pounds in 5 months. And literally it has changed everything from my emotional health to my mental health, to my physical health, obviously, Chris too. And, you know, at that point I was like, okay, I still wasn't even thinking, oh my gosh, maybe this will help us financially. But
right, we had it for just to fast forward this, because Katie will get emotional, but we had it for 5 days, and I didn't touch the product. It was only for Katie. I'm like, it's for you. You use it. You see what goes on with you. And in those 5 days, she told me how she was feeling, and that she was feeling better, and that she was feeling lighter, and that her clue. And I'm like, you're full of it. You're not, whatever, you know, I'm still ultimate pessimist. So for all of you pessimists out there, that was me. All right. But I was the ultimate pessimist. And even when we decided to start selling it, and that's all we were going to do, was just be an affiliate kind of thing. That was our goal, was just, we're going to share about it. People want it, then great, we'll get a little bit of a customer commission, and that's wonderful. And that lasted a whole 24, maybe 48 hours before we had people that were, hey, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? I want in. What are you guys doing? And so pretty soon we had our first associate, and then our second associate, like within 24 hours of each other. And we're like, I guess we need one more. Like, I mean, why not? And so that's just kind of like where it started. And I still hadn't even touched the product. I didn't touch the product for another 3 weeks. And then I touched the product, and now I'm 50 something pounds lighter. I look like a totally different person. And all my friends, all my football dads are like, what happened? Half of you's missing. And I'm like, I left the other half at home. Like, what else am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it is just, this has been such a blessing. And to reiterate what Nicole said, I wish I would have listened sooner, because had we listened 8 months ago when Abby first came to me and I went, no, we're good. We're probably fine. I don't know if this is right for me. We're good. If we would have listened back then, we probably wouldn't have gone through the things that we had to go through. And maybe we were meant to go through those things. I mean, let's just be honest about it, okay? Sometimes you're meant to go through hardships so that you can find a new outcome, right? Or like kind of reset, right? And this was a reset for us. Trinont was a reset for us. Our health and wellness is a reset for us. And we are just like, we are beside ourselves with this company. We love it. We love the people. We love Sarah. We love Tina. We love all the people that we've brought into the company. We've loved the people that aren't even on our team that we've met. You know, it's like, it's this company, this culture, this finance, what it's done for our finances, our health, our community, all of it. I could not be more thankful for. And I'm sorry I hijacked what you were saying.
You're fine. And you know, all I'm going to say about where we're at financially now is we no longer have to worry about our mortgage at all. We could pay our mortgage for multiple years with what we've been able to make in 5 months. We don't have to worry about putting food on our table. We don't have to worry about how we're going to pay for the boys to play football. And those were all valid concerns with us a few months ago. Like, I didn't know how we were going to pay to get them back to school supplies.
Yeah. We didn't want them to even know that we were going through the struggles that we were going through, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, we were trying to keep that completely hidden.
Yeah.
So.
And so it's been the biggest blessing. I can't say enough. And like Chris said, like, we didn't expect, we thought maybe, you know, maybe we could share a little bit, maybe we could get a little bit of commissions that would cover my products. And you don't even know how many people need this until you put yourself out there. And then all those other people that have been doing the same thing as you, and they've been hiding too, and they've been pushing their struggles and pretending everything is okay, they come out of the woodworks. And they may not comment on your posts, but guess what? They will be messaging you or texting you and being like, wait, what? And then you're going to find out that there's more people in that same situation like you that will want to do this with you than you could ever imagine.
Sarah, did we go too long?
Probably.
Sorry.
No. I love it. I love hearing that. You know, I mean, it's such a common thread, and you guys have done something so extraordinary here. But again, it just comes with saying yes. It came with that one decision. You just made that one decision, and now the ripple effect of that is bigger than I think we could ever even imagine. And it's just barely getting started. And that's what I get excited about. You've done that in 5 months. Where are we going to be in 5 years? Like, that's the thing for everybody to think about. Like, you can get in on this right now and you won't even recognize yourself in 5 years. If you plug in with us right now, where we are timing wise, and before I go off there, because I just love your guys' story. Thank you for being honest and sharing the struggle, because again, people know what that feels like. I don't know one person that's not struggling in some way with something. Everybody's got something, whether they talk about it or not, just like Nicole said. We probably don't all talk about it. But you guys were really going through it, and this was a lifeline. And I'm grateful that Abby kept reaching out to you, and I'm grateful that you guys said yes, because so many lives are now being affected. And that can be anybody on this Zoom. Anybody on this Zoom has a sphere of influence that only you can touch, like we said. And they're just waiting for you to show up and reach out and say, hey, look what I have my hands on, because this stuff is life-changing. So thank you guys. I love you both so much. And so I'm gonna real quickly, because I know that we don't want to keep you guys on here too long, but I'm gonna bring my beautiful friend up here to talk about the money. Okay, I think we've all heard just a little bit about the products, and we didn't even do slides about the products. Some of y'all are probably like, what products are these people even selling? Some kind of magic drink in a cup? I still don't know. We'll get that to you later. Let's talk about the money. There's a lot of money on the table, and we have less than 24 hours for you to snag it. So I'm going to introduce my incredible friend, Tina Joy Carroll, This girl is actually getting ready to walk the stage, speak in front of thousands of people at Faith Over Fear in Orlando, and she squeezed this in tonight. She's one of the most incredible people I've ever met in my life. And she's going to share with you guys how you can change your financial future, but you got to get in right now so that you can access the money on the table.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. You just jump on one of these calls and man, you just feel good, right? Like, man, these stories, they're always so inspiring. First of all, I just realized that the Drapers not only are going for a Black Diamond, but they're literally about to be Emerald on their second account. And so I just decided to do a little math while you guys were talking. And I just want to paint this picture. They couldn't hardly put food on the table and weren't sure how they were going to make ends meet 5 months ago. And their next check, just in base pay alone, this does not include their crazy amount of customer commissions, any bonuses that we're going to talk about tonight, because we're going to talk about the bonuses here in a minute that you can qualify for too, or launch bonuses. They're stand to make $37,000 in just base pay for the month of October alone. I need you to understand how powerful that is. Your one yes could change your entire life. It did mine, it did theirs, it did Sarah's, and you guys, there is something so incredibly special on the table. We're going to rock it with a yellow pad and a Sharpie because I'm in a hotel room in Orlando, Florida, but I am going to show you the money that is on the table for you when you make a decision to partner with us in October, okay? There's 2 sets of bonuses that you will get to tap into. One of these bonuses is going away for good tomorrow night when the clock strikes midnight Hawaii time. Okay, so I need you to keep that in mind because I don't want you to miss out on any money. And I would be mad. I would be mad if my friend did not tell me the money that I could miss out on. So we're not going to be those friends to you. We're going to be a good friend and we're going to tell you. Okay, so this is what you're going to get. Okay, there is rank retention bonuses. We're going to call them RRB for short. Okay, and I'm going to draw them all out for you, right? You're going to get $1,000 at Jade. Oh, and by the way, the Drapers have snagged all of these, okay, in 5 months. Now, just so that you know, they weren't even sure they would get enough customers to cover their products, and they've snagged all of these in 5 months. Okay, are you ready? $500 at Opal. Pearl, another $1,000. Ruby, $2,500. Sapphire, $5,000. Emerald, $10,000. And Diamond, $20,000, my friends. That is $40,000 on the table in additional bonuses. This does not include your base pay. This does not include your customer commissions. This does not include your Jeep stipend. This does not include any of the other parts of the comp plans, friends. This is just additional bonuses on the table through tomorrow night at midnight, Hawaii time. Sarah said it best. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. And then there's more. We're still not done. Then we have the Builder Bonus Blitz that you can come in and take advantage of as well, which is another $19,000 in bonuses that you can get between now and December the 31st of this year. That is $59,000 in additional bonuses that you can earn. And here's what's really cool, friends. Most people think a few things. One, they're like, I'm just not good at sales. Or they say, I don't know how to do the social media thing. Like taking a selfie is awkward for me. How many of you feel like you would fall in one of those categories, right? Like just put a 1 in the comments if you're like, yeah, you just literally nailed it. That is me. Thank goodness for you that our industry does not depend upon you being really good at either, right? What you will have at your fingertips is thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonies of other people who have gotten results with these products that you are able to share with others, right? Before Chris and Heidi had their result, they talked about others. Before Nicole had her result, they talked about others. Before Jess had her result, they talked about others. You're taking people on the journey with you. I don't know anyone, literally, I don't know a single human that doesn't want to feel better and make more money. If you can tell me one human that doesn't want to feel better and make more money, put it in the comments. But you can't, because everybody either wants to feel better or wants to make more money or wants both. And you have that opportunity at your fingertips. Listen, it's so easy to think that you're not qualified. It's so easy for you to think that you're not even worthy of it because life's been really, really hard. And please know you can be on this side of the story. Please know that in 5 months, in 3 months, in 30 days, this can be your story. But the only way that's ever going to be your story is if you just say yes today. You just have to be willing to say yes today. Friends, you literally have positioned yourself, and you don't even know it, in the best possible position by simply being on this Zoom and hearing from these people so that you can partner with us and then take off. My hope for you is this, is that I know it's scary. My hope is you'll jump off this Zoom. You'll rush right back to the person that invited you to watch it. And you'll say, give me the link. And you'll take a complete step of faith. And you'll just do what it takes to get in this business so that we can start writing your story, so that we can start writing your happily ever after. But the only way that happens is for you to say yes right now. Now, I'm going to give it back to my friend Sarah. I don't know if anyone's told you yet how amazing she is, but I'm going to. So you're going to get it twice if no one has. She is one of the most incredible, hardworking leaders I've ever had the pleasure of working with. She is in the trenches day in and day out with her team. When she says she will help you, she absolutely means that she will. And she shows up the way that she says she's going to show up. And it's been so incredibly cool to watch her go from a paramedic to a multiple six-figure earner in this industry just because she said yes one day to something new. Sarah, close us out.
I love you. Okay. Yes, you guys, if you heard anything tonight, I want you to think about it. Like I said, I don't believe in coincidences, and you are not on here by random. I want you to think about that. Think about that thing that hit you in the chest, because I guarantee something did. Somebody's story, something about the product, something hit you in the chest. I want you to think about that. Get back together with the person that invited you to hop on this Zoom. Ask all the questions. Get in the groups. Be the skeptic that you've now heard from several of us that we were. And you will not find yourself being skeptic very long. But you got to ask the questions. You got to say the yes. You got to jump in now. Trust us. Link arms with us. We will run with you and help you hit whatever goal it is that you want. You just got to say yes. So thank you guys for having this evening with us. Thank you for everybody who shared their story. This is powerful. We are grateful for each one of you, and you guys have a great night. Bye.